Assalamu alaikum. I am Isma Sultana. My student ID is 201, sorry, 012201002. I am a student of UIU in MS CSC program. Now I'm going to present my warehouse based on stock information or stock evaluation. First, I'm going to show my database postgresql, which is used for creating the warehouse database. This is my warehouse database and this is the schema, and DW schema is my warehouse schema where I creating 7 tables for this warehouse. Those tables are item code, item category, production unit, stock, stock up, subcategory, unit. In those 7 tables, stock is the main information tables and the item code is the others fact table. These two fact table are going to use for stock evaluation. Now I am going to show my ERD diagram for this database. For these reasons, we use the Visual Paradigm software. Now I open this. It takes short times. In this time, I'm going to show my main theme. My project name is Create Warehouse for Stock Evaluation, and my project identification. First, I describe my problem identification. We create a warehouse depend on stock where we can analysis a company's many factory productions and where management can aware about raw material stock and their next year budget. Now I explain my data source. I use 2 types of data sources. One comes from Excel and one comes from my Oracle database, which is based on existing multinational company stock or corporate company stock. Data modeling, for this reason we use Visual Paradigm 16.2. This is my screenshot of my ER diagram. Now I show this in my Visual Paradigm software. Here is my ER diagram. This is my one fact table item code and this is my another fact table stock, and two fact table are connected with a primary key foreign key relationship, and this is my dimension table, unit table, item category, production unit and subcategory. This 4 table contains a primary key column, and this item code table contains those from primary key column as a foreign key column. This is my foreign key column, which comes from this 4 dimension table, and item code is the primary key column of this table. Our stock up table is my data cube table where I summarize the current stock based on the receive, issue, return and other issue column from this stock table. Now I convert the data from these two sources in postgresql database, or I done my ETL extract, transform and load process. Now for this reason I use Excel file and tote software. I open my toad software, and this is my Excel file which contains the item information. This item information comes from different type of unit of this corporate company. They have many factories from different location. They have many factories in different locations, and those factory entry their item in this centralized database, and this table contains the all in item information of those factory. This factory item information based on four things which I show in my ER diagram: unit, item category, production unit, and subcategory. First, our company divided into different unit or company. They have different type of company code, and this information entry in this table. And item category is production unit then created because every factory divided into different production unit. They have different type of unit for completed production, and all company has a different kind of factory, and they have a different kind of production unit. Now the all production unit are divided into different type of item category unit, and this table contains all types of category unit information. Now all category unit are divided into different type of subcategory unit. All subcategory unit are entry in this table subcategory, and now we entry the item code in this table based on unit code, category ID, production unit code, and subcategory ID. And this Excel file contains all this type of information. This is the company code, and this is the unit code. This is the category ID code. This is the subcategory ID code, and this is the item code, and this is the item code name, and this is the reorder quantity. This is the and date of open, and open quantity, origin, and safety stock. I load this data in postgresql database using a code, and these code are here. This is my code which is help us to load the data from Excel file, and this is the Excel file location, and this is my expected table where I load the data from Excel file. When I copy this code and paste in my PostgreSQL database editor, and when I press the play button, then the data will load in my item code table, and I show the data which I load from this Excel file. This is my all data, and other six table contains some of data which comes from my Oracle database. I show my Oracle database. First I connect ERP user. This is my expected user where the six table are exist, and I just create a script of data from this table using this software Toad, and now those script I execute in PostgreSQL database. After executing the script, I get the data just like that. This is the item category table, and this is the data of category. Different type of category: raw materials category, packing materials category, spares, production. All of this data comes from my Oracle database and these database are using in a corporate company. And this is the production unit table, and this is the production unit data. which also comes from my Oracle database table. I show a table production unit. When I press F4, Fn plus F4, then the data will show. This is all of the data. Now I select all this data, Control A, press Control A. Now I press the right button of my mouse and just press Export Database. Now open a window, and here I select a path of a file where I creating the script, and this is my script file stock.sql. Now just press the OK button. Now I press the yes button. Script is created now. Minimize this window. Now I find my script. This is my script. It's called stock.sql. I open it in WordPad. This is my script. Now I copy this script and I going to do the transform unit. Just paste it in my Toad software and now change the username from this unit because the username is not same in my PostgreSQL database. Just I copy this and press Ctrl F for replace this. Sorry, Ctrl R. Ctrl R. Here I paste the ERP.production unit. Now I write something for replace with it. I write the username of this PostgreSQL database. Create a script of a table. From this script, I just copy this username and table name. Now I paste this in my Toad software and press the replace all button. All the username and table name change as my PostgreSQL database. Now I copy whole script, Control A, Control A, Control C. Close this window. Now I paste it in my PostgreSQL database and press the play button, and after pressing the play button all the data are inserted into production unit table. I do this before. Now I show the data of production unit table. All data are similar with my Oracle database. This is my data and now show my production Oracle database data. Look, this is my one of data of Oracle database. First data is Lalbagh LB Lalbagh sales office. Now I show this data in my PostgreSQL database. Here is my PostgreSQL database. I just expand this Lalbagh sales office. This is my Lalbagh sales office and LB. So now I completed my ETL process, and now I'm going to start my Oracle BI strategies. All of this work is done for some kind of BI strategies or business strategies. Management can aware about their factory production of this kind of warehouse. Management can aware about their raw material procurement or here is a field of reorder quantity in the item code table, and this field is using for show the reorder quantity of all the item. All the item need a reorder quantity, and this quantity is a level for when the procurement department try to procure this item or we can explain it like this. If our stock is below of this quantity, then the software show a alert for the procurement department that they need to procure this item. So this regular quantity you are help the procurement department for procuring any kind of raw materials. So this stock evaluation process can help the management for procure their raw materials. Third is management can analyze their next year budget. Management need to have a budget for procuring any raw materials. So when they evaluate the stock for raw materials procured, then they need to fix their budget for next year. Now I am starting my warehouse analysis process. First, I made my conceptual hierarchy based on my database. Stock database. Here I show a conceptual hierarchy about my stock management warehouse. Here are three types of hierarchy are used in my stock table. First, the date field. Date field depend on year and month. Now the company code is a one types. It has no hierarchy. Third is raw materials. Raw materials depends on four hierarchy. First unit, then category, subcategory, and last is raw materials. Next is lattice cubed. Lattice cubed is created for summarizing process. How I can summarize in different way to show the stock about our stock to management. First, I show the stock, and this stock depend on five things. They are date, code, unit, category, subcategory, and production. I can show the stock of these different five categories based on different five categories. Else, we can show the stock based on four categories like grouping the date and code, or grouping the date and unit, or grouping the date and category, or grouping the date and subcategory, or grouping the date and product. And in this way we can show others three level types, three level for show the summarize stock. This is called a lattice of cubed. Data cube of stock warehouse, the third process of this data warehouse analysis. First, the drill down process. Drill down process is based on our conceptual hierarchy. In conceptual hierarchy, the raw materials depends on four things: unit, category, subcategory, and raw materials. Here I show a 3D graph where I use raw material, company code, and year. Based on these three dimension, we can show the stock of this company. When we use raw materials, when we use the next steps or drill down step of the of anything, then it show in my conceptual hierarchy. Date field depends on first year and then month. First graph show the year field, and next graph show the month field. So it is the drill down process. Now I showing the roll up process. Roll up process is the intersect of drill down process. Roll up process are different of drill down process. Drill down process show the next step, and the roll up process show the previous step. Previous step of the raw material is subcategory. First graph show the raw materials, company code and year, and the second graph show the subcategory, year and company code. Stock is summarized based on company code, subcategory and year, and this is the roll up process of before graph. Now I show the slice, dice and pivot. This is my base graph, which is consist of company code, raw materials and years. And when I dice this process, then I just keep the two types of data from this previous graph. Here I take raw material, two types of raw materials, two types of company and two years data. In the slice graph, we just take a slice of this graph, of the previous graph, or we can show the stock based on two dimension. They are raw materials and year. Then I show the pivot data cube. Pivot data cube is the rotating process of slice data cube. Slice data cube show the year in ascending order, and in pivot graph show the descending order of the year. This is the pivoting data cube. Now I show the starnet query. Starnet query is a query which is consist of a conceptual hierarchy. Conceptual hierarchy has different type of hierarchy. We use company code, year and raw materials of this starnet query model. Unit has a three types of hierarchy. First category, then subcategory. Production raw materials has a product line, company code also a line, and year has a month hierarchy. And all these points are called footprint, and footprint altogether create a starnet query. And lastly, I show some of my query which I execute, which I use for postgresql database, and using those query we can show the data queue process, drill down, roll up and slice, dice, pivot, etc. or starnet query. And this is my all of things of my stock evaluation warehouse, and all of the and all these those all are analysis in my warehouse, stock evaluation warehouse. And thank you for watching my video.